So let's see. Let's find out.
Let's see.
Let's act as if.
Let's do a whole show and not be on the air.
Hey, it could happen, but at least we'll have it recorded.
Yes.
Okay, let's start the stopwatch. Okay, there we go. The door is unlocked, so
Excellent.
hopefully no CD undesirables come along. But I do believe...
If they do, we'll interview them.
Oh, there you go.
They'll jump in.
Yes, we will treat it as content.
Yes.
Okay, so I think...
It says we're on the air.
Yes, it says we're on the air over there, but let's wait and see. Wait for it. Let's assume that we're on the air.
How do we know?
This is such riveting
content
yes,
right now.
Riveting. Oh, there's always the delay. And
We can't have dead air.
well, technically it's not dead. We're moving.
We
are live.
We're live.
Oh,
Good morning.
yes. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fire Drill Friday.
Yes, Fire Drill Friday.
Yes.
But we are live.
We are live. We're live. We are Wayne free.
Yes. And our thoughts go out to Wayne.
Yes, thoughts and prayers to Wayne.
Yes.
Yes, we miss him.
Yes.
I haven't seen so many of my people.
Right?
I haven't seen you. I haven't seen Wayne.
I
did see Ashley this week. That was fun.
Well,
So,
yes, and I saw you guys together on, what was it? It was...
we were at the Metrotex
yes.
Park
yeah.
Cities meeting.
How did
Why
I-
weren't you there?
That's a valid question.
It's a great meeting. We had 62 people there.
What?
Yeah, 62 people there. Well, it's at the Park Cities Club.
That's true.
Free breakfast. Like this amazing breakfast buffet.
Do they validate parking?
They validate parking. They validate parking.
How
How many times do you think I heard that?
Well, and it's like, you know, if you are in that universe and you go to those things often, it's like, it sucks whenever you get there and then, like, let's say it's, I don't know, say it's the Renaissance at Legacy West or whatever. And you go, and it's like, it's awesome, da-da-da-da-da. And then it's like, oh, you just outkicked the window of parking. You know, it's like, oh, you just got bumped into like $27
$27 parking, yes.
And, there we go. So Alex is coming up behind there. All right, there we go. So we got,
hello.
We have an audience.
We have an audience.
So,
Good morning.
by
We're
all
live.
means,
We are live.
Yeah,
Hi.
we are live.
Hi,
yes. This is how we roll.
This is how we roll.
By all means, pull up a seat in the dark over there.
Enjoy.
Help yourself.
You can clap. You can be the studio audience.
Yes.
We're not really that funny, but you can clap anyway. Yeah.
Believe
So,
me. Yeah.
no, it's the worst. The $27 parking. In fact, sometimes it's cheaper for me because I live in Uptown to just Uber.
Oh, yeah.
Because by the time you pay for the parking and then the stress of trying to find the parking, all the things, it's just cheaper.
I can testify to that because the night of the Metrotex Awards,
we Ubered.
yes, same. And it was like, I don't know, it was probably $60.
Yeah.
Back and forth, maybe. But
Ours was $8.
yes. Well, that's like when you
love where I live.
that's when you do like DoorDash and McDonald's is across the street.
Yes.
You're like, okay, I could have saved $6 by walking. But
My daughter does that. Faux Crimson's across the street. I'm like, you are not getting it delivered, you lazy thing. So.
well, that's, you know, I don't know what I would be like if my universe had always been in my hand on the phone.
It's crazy.
But the Ubering to and from the events is
The best.
Yes, cannot be oversold.
No.
It was a thing of beauty, and I literally got dropped off. I go in, I win the award.
Yeah, you did.
you did.
And
then I leave. And it was, you know, I would not probably make a habit of actually doing that to everywhere I went, but there was something extra, like, I don't know, fancy about.
Fancy and just, so for me, events like that, they do, like, I'm a people person. I love people, but I only have so much people fuel.
Oh, yeah.
And being able to not have to do the driving it gives me the opportunity to kind of just prepare and decompress.
Yes.
And then same thing on the way home. That's why I love New York so much. Like, cause you know, you don't drive anywhere. I love the subway. Love the subway.
Oh, I didn't like the subway.
I love the
but
subway.
I loved the taxis.
Yes,
So the last time I was
yes.
there, this was in the era of taxis. And it was like, it dawned on me like, oh, wow, New York, if you had the money,
Yeah.
it would be the best place on earth to live.
Oh, I love
Where
it,
you
yeah.
could literally be shuttled from door to door.
Yes.
Everything is delivered because,
Yes.
I don't know, it's probably the late 90s that the last
Yeah.
time I was there. And the concept of everything being open 24 hours, They would deliver like Brooklyn fries at 3 a.m. if you wanted them, which
the
is
Gap
fries with cheese and gravy.
Times
By the
Square.
way.
Ooh,
oh
ooh.
my God.
The Gap in Times Square is open 24 hours. You can go get jeans and a tank top at 3 a.m. if you need to.
We've all been there. Yes.
Yes, we have. But why? Why is that needed?
Right. Okay, so yeah, when I was there was not a Gap in Times Square,
Okay,
let alone
okay.
a 24-hour Gap.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd love to see the P&L on that. Like,
Right?
Yeah, like,
Right.
what are the numbers?
And who wanders in at 3 a.m.?
I mean, I guess it's got to be like some out-of-town folks that they're just like blown away, like, America. You know?
And what do you have to do to get that shift?
Oh,
Who did you upset?
Yeah.
That is not
I mean, that's
the
one
good
where
shift.
you probably do get like a couple extra bucks an hour.
Surely.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah. There has to be an incentive somewhat. But okay, so also today was going to be liftoff.
Yes.
So
Excited about that. That is going to be an amazing event. So people, you have an extra week
Yes.
to RSVP.
And we are absolutely carpet bombing the world with
Yes. But you know what? It is a free event to help you kick your year off. We have some incredible speakers. We have Wayne. Mm-hmm. We have Corey. Mm-hmm. We have Christy Becca.
And
we have me.
Yes.
Michelle Ozimi.
And the coolest part of you and Wayne, so like it's been great for me.
Yeah.
And I'm only half kidding. I'm actually not even half kidding.
Hold on.
Yes.
We have Ashley Gentry
Oh,
emceeing the
I forgot.
event.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
We got her off the pickleball court on a Friday morning.
No, we didn't. She's going to be there.
She'll be late.
Yeah. Well, she'll be
be
there at
late.
10. So that means she'll probably do like pickleball at sunrise.
Right.
And then hopefully she doesn't like pull anything or like
Oh God.
throw her back out.
She
or
gets
whatever.
grumpy.
Yeah. But the coolest thing for me was when I threw it out there in the group text, everybody said yes.
Immediately.
Yeah. And it was like,
I love our little group.
me too. And I was talking to Lance yesterday, and it's weird because
He'll be there too. He's not speaking.
Oh no!
But
Yeah,
he'll
yeah.
be there.
Yeah, he'll be the absolute president of the fan club.
Yes,
Of everybody there.
yes.
And just the way that like all of this has kind of come together, all the confluence of events. It's
been a
just
year.
like with you and Ashley coming together here. And then all of a sudden you're BFFs. And,
Yes.
and the beauty is like you and Ashley are like me and Lance, where it's like good
It's
cop,
so
bad
cute.
cop.
Yes.
And then now y'all share the assistant.
We share an assistant.
Yes.
Love her.
Yes. And she's the bomb. So
Oh my
she
God.
and
And
it's
so
like,
she will be there Friday too.
yes. Oh,
Yes.
she was already sharing everything.
Yes.
It's like, oh,
She's so good.
This is so beautiful. And so to go back to one of the things that I loved about having the studio, which was not part of my initial thought process, was having the shows. This was all done just to really teach the guys how to work the gear. and with me being the, subject or whatever, well, the bar was really low on whether or not it was, so if they failed, which they did, so the first time that we went live,
Absolutely.
we went live with no sound.
Beautiful.
So it was like pantomime. And then it was literally, okay, everybody, re-rack. We're
My
going to do that
daughter did a
again.
pantomime show at Booker T. It was awful. I had to see it like 7 times.
How did that ever become like a thing, like a genre?
I don't know. And there's people who like it.
Well, I remember it as a kid, like in the dying days of like the variety
Yes.
show.
Yes.
There would be like weird stuff on TV and it would be like,
Her school did Lord of the Flies as a pantomime. Right? Not only is it lengthy, but an awful choice in pantomime.
wow.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to have to Google that later. There's
So
gotta
really
be
there
any-
were no costume changes to keep you entertained? Because, they're just on the island.
Yeah.
7 times I had to see that one. God bless her. I love her. Love you, Caitlin.
Wow.
I'm glad things worked out for you.
Yeah, all things being equal.
Yeah,
yes,
it's all good.
Absolutely. So, so one of the reasons that I loved what this has morphed into was, aside from going live with no audio, it was re-rack. We're going to do it again. Everybody pretend
Yeah.
like what I said you've
Yes.
never heard before.
Yes.
And then we just did it that way. And so then that morphed into the Wayne thing, where Wayne came in because he'd been going viral with David Goggins.
Yes, so cool.
Yes. And then brought him in because, one, he said yes.
That's usually what does it.
Yes. So
that's the number one factor.
Yes. And then we were doing the interview stuff, and all of a sudden it hits me like, it really hit me whenever you came in as the guest with me and Wayne.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh shit, this having 2 coaches here.
So fun.
Yeah. So it's like, I got free coach. I tell everybody, it's like, oh, you get free business coaching if you just build a studio and have a show.
Yeah.
And
So you built 2. You doubled down.
yeah. So I built 2.
So wait, though, are you like Ashley and don't take anyone's advice, or do you actually listen?
Oh no, I'm just here to really like dispense unsolicited advice.
Excellent. Excellent.
And I am very much wired like Ashley, where and even the time when we were on here together, and y'all were both like kind of going back and forth, and then I was like, yeah, man, I said, man, that actually sounds like a really good action item, and I'm going to put it directly on the list of shit that I'm not going to do. And it was so funny.
Ashley has a long list
right.
like that.
So has she broken out that tablet thing yet? Is it?
So no, she hasn't. Until we were at a Metrotext, the committee meeting last week.
Oh, the leadership launch.
The leadership launch. So I'm sitting there taking notes on mine. Charmaine Byers, shout out to Charmaine, I love her. She's taking notes on hers. And Ashley pulls her unopened, clean, shiny
like
tablet out like Christmas morning and just sits it on the table defiantly.
Oh, God. And that's why I swear that it's like we were separated at birth.
Yes.
And also by like probably 20 years or 15 years or something.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Where it's like that I get with like no translation, it's like, yep, what else would you do?
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, she would pull her child in a plastic bucket behind her truck on a snow day. And I do have video, so
okay,
I've never
awesome.
seen anything like that in my life.
That's
I showed
awesome.
Gracie. She was mortified and excited all at the same time. She's
Rightfully
like,
so.
She's like, we don't do that in Uptown.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, that's like the perfect blend of forward thinking and hillbilly.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And it did look, I'm not going to lie, it looked kind of fun.
Oh my, it'd be a blast.
But Reese did gas up the truck a little more than I thought he should have, but
I love it. Okay.
Alex was very happy.
I definitely want to see some of that footage for sure.
It was funny. And the smile on Ashley's face was amazing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and it's kind of clever and it's funny. So that always goes a long way too. But then, so like you and Wayne come on, or you came on with me and Wayne, and then it was like the fact that you held your own and punched back.
Yeah, because Wayne's tough. He's good.
Well, and it's like y'all are both just like this factory of gold nuggets where like, you know, if I talk for an hour, you might pan and there might be like a solid 90 seconds in there, you know, just a solid 90. But with you and Wayne back and forth, I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. And both of y'all are nature, nurture, whatever.
It's because me and Wayne are lame and we sit at home.
Oh,
and
dude,
just study and read and yeah.
I will see your sit at home and raise you, never leave. And
I switched out planners on New Year's Eve. That was my hot plan. I stayed up till 11 to watch the ball drop and switched over 2024 to 2025.
So I, on New Year's Eve, in bed by 9.
Yeah.
Melatonin knocks me out by 10.
Yeah.
New Year's morning, I'm up at 5 a.m. as if it's just any other day.
Yes.
And then I'm literally combing through images to swap out on the website.
Yes.
And I don't know, you could give me a diagnosis here. I feel so much more productive doing that for like a couple of hours on New Year's morning at 6 a.m. than if I did it any other day of the year, other than maybe like Christmas morning or something. There's this like inverse proportion of I'm gaining, I'm getting ahead, I'm pulling away from the pack.
Yes.
And I don't know if there's any data that would ever suggest that really is a thing, but it certainly feels like it.
Well, and the feeling is enough. It's the perspective.
Yes.
It's the
It's like a
perspective.
placebo effect. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like,
It keeps you motivated. It keeps you going.
Yes.
It keeps you. So last Friday, January 10th, was National Quitters Day.
Oh, is that like statistically when everybody pulls the
that's
plug?
when everybody kind of gives up on whatever their goals were. So
that's fast.
That's fast. That is fast. So doing things like that make you feel like you've accomplished something are going to give you the momentum to push forward past that.
Yes.
So, are you still going to the gym?
Yes.
Yes. My man.
And not only that, so I put an elliptical in my loft.
Yeah.
And then that gave me the impetus to buy like a giant 60-inch television with the Fire Cube, which is I was never really
Do
a
you
fan.
slow down on the elliptical when you're watching TV?
No.
I feel like people do. Like I see people in the gym on the bike.
Well, I'm
they're reading
not one where
and they get slow.
That could probably track.
Like I see that. Like probably the story gets really exciting and you slow down a little bit and you forget what you're doing.
Now for me, as soon as I started to require readers,
yeah. Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
tactile books went out the
That's
window.
hard. Yeah.
You know,
You can put books on your Remarkable. Just saying.
Audible. I probably have like 300 in my Audible stash, and I have 6 or 8 credits stacked already to get more. But the elliptical, I would put on like a 45-minute episode of like the original Star Trek or something
Yeah.
like that, and then it's a distraction. But I also wear a weighted vest.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, and I've been doing that every day.
Okay.
So like whatever today's date is how many days tonight when I do it'll be
Okay.
that's how many days I've
16
done it.
days. That's amazing.
And I also do it on the days that I go to the gym. So like I went to the gym in the morning and then I did the elliptical at night. So boy, you want to feel like
2 a day. That's impressive.
If you really want to feel like you're like
Yes.
getting there, because oddly enough, the reason that I wanted to go to the gym and that I wanted to, so like I haven't had a dog for 2 years, give or take. And I used to get the 10,000 steps gimmick
Walking
every
the dog.
day,
Yeah.
regardless. And I would walk the dog with ankle weights. So I'd put like 5 pounds on each ankle.
Okay.
And I actually used to just wear those around the house all
Yeah.
day with the dog walking, just being, intermittently or whatever. Because until this very year, I had never been in a gym ever.
Really?
Yeah. Aside from like apartment complex, you walk to the fitness center just to see what it looks like or
Yeah.
whatever. But I had never been in an actual like grown ass gym that you pay a membership and go to. Never.
Wow.
And
So you went all in then.
well, it was again confluence of events.
Yeah.
Like you and Wayne coming in, and then you becoming substitute Wayne.
Yes.
And then us interviewing Ashley.
Yes.
And then y'all click, and there's like, oh shit, let's do a women's show.
Yeah.
And so like all of that has been. I suit up and show up, and then it just seems like every once in a while a new thing presents itself to
Yeah.
where it totally makes sense.
Yes.
And then I don't feel like I'm square peg, round hole.
Right.
So I had been doing studio stuff for probably 6 months, 9 months, or whatever. I used to run around with the camera and the gimbal,
Yes.
for hours
Oh,
on
yes.
end every day. And so there was a certain amount of fitness is just a byproduct of
Yeah.
that. Well, I had 9 months of not doing that. And then there were like 4 Real Producers events.
Because you had all these shows.
Yeah. And there were 4 Real Producers events back to back. So 4 events in essentially 36 hours.
Yeah.
And I did the gimbal gimmick for 4 hours at a clip. And
So your arms hurt.
no, I woke up, I don't know, maybe fast forward 2 days. I woke up and like my whole entire like sciatica,
Yeah.
all of this was like gridlocked.
Yeah.
And it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. So I started to go to Stretch Lab.
Yes. Yes.
And so Stretch Lab, shout out to Stretch Lab, godsend. Oh my God. 'Cause,
They're amazing. They really are.
Going back to the whole Ashley thing and where we kind of, it's like once you get a little bit of self-awareness and you realize like, okay, I'm never going to do that.
Yes.
So the idea of either me bullshitting you and saying I am, or even worse, pretending, or saying I am and then set myself up for failure.
Yeah.
Those all suck. So it was, okay, I want the ability to work 7 days a week because for whatever reason that makes me happy. And so I go to Stretch Lab purely based on the idea of like, okay, unlock my spine, please and thank you. And
Fix me.
yeah. So, and it's the typical American thing. It's like, I'm going to go hard, break something, and then
Yes.
try to pay to get out of it.
Yes.
And so that's what I did. And then Sierra, the gal that was my original tech or stretchologist or flexologist or whatever they call them, she's a personal trainer.
Yes. Who hasn't been on Winning Women's Wednesday, but I think she should be.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Yes. So
coming soon.
Yes. So coming soon. We'll set that up.
Yeah.
And she had reached out to me probably around somewhere between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
So, we've just followed each other on Instagram or whatever. And then she was like, hey, what do you think about, like, what kind of content would you suggest for the gym or whatever? And then we just sort of brainstormed that into, well, like, okay.
So she does Stretch Lab and the gym.
No. She now morphed into like.
Oh, good
the
for
person- Yeah, the
her.
personal
Okay, that's
trainer
awesome.
completely.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so she's got like her, bachelor's in kinesiology or
Cool.
whatever. Yeah. So it's like all 100% legit. And then my thing was, well, could we go like super early in the morning? One, I'm going to look like shit when I'm doing all of this.
Right.
And I'm probably going to hurt myself.
Yep.
Because that's the other thing where it was like this ego thing where it's like, especially like the masculine ego where you're like, I can do 3 more. And it's like, I went the opposite direction where I'm like, she'd be like, okay, let's do 15 of these. And I'm like, how about 10? about 10, and
I love it.
because my thing was, I'm only doing this so I can continue my unhealthy workaholic behavior,
So I go a couple times a week to the bro gym. I mean, bro gym across the street from my building. It's like they're flipping tires and all the things.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Usually not very many girls in there. And that's so that I can have the same experience where I like go extra hard. Because if I go to Planet Fitness or something like that, like I'm by myself, people are on their phones the whole time. So I can work out as hard as I want or not. So you don't get the same, the equipment's incredible.
Yes.
But you don't get the same level of workout when there's a dude next to you lifting like 400 pounds and I'm over here with my 15-pound weight going, ugh.
Oh, I'm just like,
But then I'm in
just lifting the
pain and I
bar.
love it. Yeah, the bar. Yes. Trying to figure out how to lift the bar. So.
Well, and that was going to be my question. It's like, much like the initial experience with Stretch Lab, where there's something to be said to a large degree of somebody who knows what they're doing, showing you how to do it.
Oh,
which
yes.
all goes back to the whole coaching thing.
Yes.
Where the first time that I had somebody giving resistance and telling me like what we were doing and like, hey, how does that? And I'm like, holy hell, that hurt. It's
it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also sort of enhanced the whole mindfulness or whatever. And then that was, so like, for example, Sunday, the place was Wednesday morning. It was so packed. And it's like, there's something
First
about
of the year.
Yeah. So it's
Give
like,
it a couple
Yeah, I was
weeks.
gonna say maybe there's a delayed reaction for
Yeah.
their Quitters Day.
Yeah.
Probably because it's in Uptown.
It's in Uptown. They're a little more motivated.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
a little-
membership was expensive.
Yeah, I was just saying it's a little more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's like they'll probably the second time it hits that auto draft.
Yes,
they'll pull
then
the
they're
plug.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
But man, that place was packed, and it was like, wow, okay. There's a completely different vibe. Like you said, whenever the
Yes.
place is just jacked to the rafters.
It is nice.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then there's the other part of course, my first time in doing that, everybody is the star of their own movie. And so you're like, oh my God, they're all looking at me. And then after about 10 minutes, you realize like nobody gives a shit about me in here.
Nobody is looking at you.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And the learning about gym etiquette and all the other stuff. And it was just, man, there's like I'm sure there is, but it seems like there's no rhyme or reason to it.
No, there is. There is. And I could go off on that because at the bro gym, I have people who like they do these sets where they're going from this machine to that machine. Well, you don't get to just own that machine.
Right. Yes, I noticed
so
that.
So rude.
Yes, I
I
noticed
need to work
this.
on my thighs too.
I noticed the sort of hierarchy of
pick up your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also focused in like who has a trainer and who doesn't.
Yeah.
And, and then of course there are the ones who are just here, who's just here because they want to say they went to the gym.
Yes.
And
that's, you run into that at like the bigger gyms, like the Planet Fitness,
the one where it's like
the
20
John
bucks a month or
Reed's.
whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Where it's like, yes, I didn't forget it. I'll go up, I'll go and then I'll quit and they'll still get, 20 bucks a month.
I did a short stint at John Reed, which is the Park Cities gym that came from LA.
Oh, okay.
It is a look at me gym. And the gym is beautiful. Stunning equipment, like all things being equal. It has incredible equipment. It's beautiful. But man, I don't think I will ever be in good enough shape to actually work out there.
Well, and
so
there is that where, so there's that strata of the genetically gifted human.
yes. And then they've got the matching sets and the long blonde hair. And I'm
Right.
like sweating. I actually sweat
Right.
and not in that cute glistening way, but like that I might be about to die and fall off the machine way.
Like check your electrolytes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like, are you okay?
Yes.
That kind of, yeah. Well, and for me, the first time I went, typical me fashion, where like I have my thing, it's like I get up at 5-ish or whatever, don't set an alarm, I'm just kind of shot out of a cannon. And then I will drink coffee nonstop from 5 a.m. till 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Without even batting an eye. And now, goes without saying that if I'd never been to the gym, I had never had like 5 cylinders of coffee and then go to the gym. And I was fasting, so there wasn't. So all I'm just on pure coffee and Prilosec or whatever.
Yes. Yes.
And
fear.
yeah, and the anxiety
Yes.
of what are we doing?
How does this work?
Yeah, what? When the first time out, she's like, okay, let's test your endurance or whatever. The step box thing, that gimmick where it's like, okay, so she had me do like 3 minutes solid as hard as I could go.
Okay.
And after that, I was like, yeah, I don't ever want to work out again.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah. I'm done. That's my endurance. I'm 3 minutes.
Yeah, my endurance this is some bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
because when you do something like that, like you go all in, because you don't realize that the whole endurance test is really like 10 more minutes of other things. So you're done after the first like 4 steps.
Dude, and everything we did that like first 2 times, because it was like she developed like 2 full circuits. That all makes sense now. And now when I went on Wednesday, it was like, okay, I'm no longer in fear for my life or whatever. Yes. But like that first time, we're doing the planks, or we're doing like just whatever, and it's like, okay, and she'd give me a time, and then it would be the longest 30 seconds in history. And I'd be like, how much time is that? You're halfway there.
No, we're done. We're not halfway.
And that's why I said, like, then I learned, okay, if she says do 3 more, I'm going to be like, okay. And then it's like, okay, we're going to do 15 of those. It's like, about 10, and then I'd be like, ooh, okay. A big part of me too is, and I'm sure it probably had to do with having, I don't know, 1,700 milligrams of caffeine or whatever before I started. I wouldn't breathe. And so then I'm just like, and the stretch lab folks are the same way. They're like, breathe.
You got, because you'll hold your breath.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that's our human instinct.
Exactly. It's like a bullshit instinct.
Yes,
where it's like,
stupid.
Oh, everything is fight or flight.
Yes.
Go. And God almighty. But I'm easing into it. And the elliptical. So, you're doing the thing. And I got the weighted vest or whatever. And now it's like, I actually like it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is,
how many days is it for habit?
Is it 21 days?
Is it 20?
I think it's 21 days. So you're getting close.
I'm closing in.
You're closing in. And do you not find that you have more energy?
Yes.
Like if I'm tired and I know I have a lot left to do in the day, I'll go down, because we have a gym on our 6th floor. I'll go down to 6 and I'll do like 10 minutes of the elliptical, and that, which sounds like the opposite of what you should be doing.
Yeah.
But no, I'll go do 10, 15 minutes on the elliptical and I'm ready to go again. It gives you energy.
Yes.
People don't realize.
That's another counterintuitive thing. And just like the whole breathing and the whole being mindful. And so learning, I don't know, we were doing like some kind of thing with the thing. And she's like, no, it's like these muscles. I'm like, I didn't even know those were there.
Yeah, you'll start to hurt in areas you didn't know existed.
Let alone to focus on it. She's like, no, focus and try to and it's like push your back against, what? And then you're like, who came up with this shit?
Yeah. That's the nice thing about the personal trainer is they know how to work all these different areas. Whereas, if you're like me and you just go to the gym, I go every day, but
really?
I tend to, I go every day. I tend
how
to get, I do 30 to 45 minutes. And then there's my runs, which are separate. And I don't do that every day. Wow. But I'll get stuck in a rut, and then it's like I'll see somebody doing something and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, I'll try that. And then I hurt for 3 days because it's a whole different muscle that I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah, it's like, whoa, who put that in there?
Yeah. No, you can hurt in areas you didn't even know you had.
Yes. And so that has been my discovery process, where it's like, okay, the day after, what is it that hurts? And so now, like the elliptical just beat the shit out of me for those first couple of days.
Yeah.
But it was like I started with the vest.
Cardio. Yeah.
I started with the vest just for the simple fact of, again, I'm always, it's like I watch hustle porn all day. So it's like maximize, like return, like just square peg, round hole, bigger hammer, just that kind of thing. So
more.
Yes. Yeah. It's like old habits die hard.
Yeah.
So
now what's funny about cardio, what you'll find, it's so frustrating for me as a runner. You miss 2 or 3 days and it's like starting over again. Like you went back.
Oh.
So as a runner, I'll run, I train, I run the marathons and things like that. And if I'm in a situation where I can't run for a few days, like we've done mission trips and things like that, where I just wasn't able to run for like a week, you come back and you try to do a mile run, and it's like you haven't run in 30 years all over again. It is so frustrating.
So do you run on the machine or do you run?
I hate it. I hate it. That's what's been hard about the cold weather is I'm really trying to get back into my marathon training. And I'm a baby. It is too cold.
Oh, winter sucks,
man.
It
sucks.
I am a child of the sun, like all the way.
And
I'm not really into the woo.
Yeah,
things,
no, but it's
like,
the sun.
Yeah.
But I'll get on we have great equipment in our building gym, but I'll do like a quarter of a mile on the treadmill. And I'm like, oh, I bet we've done like 6 miles by now. And no. And I'm done. I can hang with the elliptical about 15 minutes and not get too frustrated if I've got a good podcast going. Treadmill, forget it. I hate it.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I can't stand
Well,
it.
see, like I'd be the polar opposite, where like, okay, the elliptical, where I'm just doing the thing and I'm up and down, and I got the thing on the TV or whatever.
See,
and
I'm
I
not a TV person.
And I
That's
can
the
talk to
problem.
Alexa.
Yeah, no, I don't have Alexa. I don't do TV, so I need to be outside. And I'm right there by the trail.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. So
Yeah.
you do have that. But see, like me and Ashley with our flat feet, it's like I need a ride. I'm not running anywhere. And
Alina did pickleball, and she says she's going to do the gym with me. I'm excited.
wow,
I got to take her to
Okay.
the bro gym.
Yeah, there you go.
just whip her into shape
Yes.
the first day.
Clang. What did Hulk Hogan used to call that? Clanging and banging.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So what else is coming up? Oh, hey, we got to wrap it up.
Oh yeah.
We're having way too much
Yeah, we have
fun.
a couple minutes left.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and reiterate.
Yes, it's going to be the best.
Liftoff 2025.
Yes.
Next week. So first off, thank you to you and everyone else that said yes to my
I can't wait to hang
wild-ass
out.
crazy
Yeah,
idea.
always.
Yeah. Well, and I figured like, okay, worst case scenario is just like me and the people I like hanging out
Yes,
with doing
absolutely.
stuff.
Absolutely.
And doing stuff.
Yeah.
And so
Because if Rick asks, you just say yes. It's just the way it goes.
which historically was not the case.
Yeah. 20 years ago, Rick, I
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
would not have said yes
Yes,
to.
like 20 years and 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah.
It would have been, oh, he's calling again.
Yes. But now it's like the text comes through and my husband's like, okay, now what are you doing?
I love it. And so like the big thing is that you and Wayne have offered to do now there's a couple of caveats
Yes.
for the quote unquote winners. They might
Yes.
not they might not feel like it after.
Yeah.
But one male, one female winner
Yep.
of the
Coaching.
the rest of 2025
Yeah,
getting
absolutely.
coached up.
Yeah.
However, we have to document the process.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great.
And it gives everybody, like my whole thing is content, and everybody needs to be their own, marketing agent and their own branding company.
Yeah.
And no better way for anybody to do anything that's easier than document the process.
Yeah.
Like be where
Agreed.
you are.
Yeah.
Like the old Ram Dass, Be Here Now.
Yes.
Remember
Yes.
that book? Did you ever see the book?
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, we're old.
Yes. It was like, and it was printed on like brown paper bags. It was just like this really weird
I
hippie
do
recent.
remember
Yes.
that. Yes. Oh my
I'm
goodness.
gonna have to go find. I have one in the garage, I think.
Good luck finding it.
Yes. Oh man.
Just buy another copy.
True. Facts. So, free coaching.
Free coaching.
Then Corey's going to do another round, and we're going to come up. We have another gimmick for like Corey's subscription folks. We're going to offer them a deal to come into the studio for like half an hour a week,
Nice.
because he's doing his thing where it's like getting the ball rolling with
Yeah.
what you have.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good.
The idea being, okay, I have a phone. Okay, well, here, add a gimbal.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't look like you're
Yeah.
in an earthquake or having a seizure.
And you can get that gimbal on Amazon for cheap because
Yes.
Alan followed me around New York City like I was some kind of celebrity with that gimbal. It was so awkward.
Yes, ma'am.
People would like
And-
look at you and try to figure out if you were somebody, and then
Yes.
you could see their disappointment.
Oh, yeah,
like,
like, that's just nobody.
It's nobody. Like just on their face.
Never
so
mind.
sad. So sad.
And then we've got Christy coming in to kind of basically like do the ignite. I mean, just like she's got so many plates that she spins from the business standpoint of.
Well, what she's really going to focus on is implementing charitable contribution into your business and into your marketing. And I think that's huge, which, with
That's
FinWeb,
awesome.
Flower Mound Women in Business,
Yes.
that's exactly what she's done. So she's really going to show you how to do that.
And I can speak to the legitimacy of that as the model because we stream to that channel. I'm an admin, so I get the flags for everything that goes on in there, and there are 8 to 10 women every day joining.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
Awesome.
like, it's like at a certain point, it feeds itself.
Yeah.
And so it's just been wow watching that from behind the curtain. And then y'all are kicking ass over there, and now you're
the west
live.
side.
Yeah, and y'all now this year. Wednesday is live every other
Absolutely.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we'll get Sierra in there. Then y'all need to have Alina on just to do like.
Oh, we are.
Hello.
We
there
are.
you go.
We're gonna like get her good and warmed up. Like we've
yes.
thrown her in the fire, or she's thrown us in the fire. I'm not sure who's
Hey,
who's
I
the
love
boss
it
actually.
because anytime somebody's like, "Hey, where are the logos for this? Hey, where are the
Yeah.
assets for this?" I'm like, "Oh, you're speaking my language."
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
she's
it.
awesome. She like puts things in my calendar and I'm like, oh, I was gonna do something else that day, but okay, fine. We'll do that.
That
will
is
work.
fabulous.
It's so good.
And then
So good.
that'll give Ashley a whole new North Star and light on the horizon.
how that
I love
goes.
it. So
So next week, January 24th, 10 to 2.
Yes.
We're going to lift off and have an amazing year
Yes.
together.
And from 1 to 2, that little space is set aside for everybody that's there.
Yep.
Can come across the hall and get in the studio and actually put the action items
Yes. Love
into
it.
play.
Love it.
So we're going to do screen test, maybe grab you a headshot, have a mimosa or something,
Yep.
maybe a charcuterie board. I don't know.
I heard charcuterie.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a beautiful space.
Oh,
so you don't want
yeah,
to miss it. And
yeah.
it's free.
Yes, it's
free,
free.
free. Just RSVP on the site so we know you're coming.
And everybody will be doing this Fired Up Friday live.
It's going to be so fun.
Yes. So everybody's invited.
So don't miss.
Woo!
See you next week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, now I got to go turn everything off.
Oh yeah, we're still live. We're still live.